Hey y'all. So, believe it or not, as simple as that little contraption there looks, it took me a really long time today to put it together. I have one more, and I told you, I said, I'm not doing it by myself. I'm going to wait till you're at home. Because these little corner pieces, these little black things, that it's two parts, and you put them on all four of your little posts, and then you slide the shelf down on it. And if you don't go over them just exactly right, it pops them loose and they go flying, flying all different directions. So that was truly, truly a nuisance. But as you can see, I've got a huge mess in here. And I've got a huge mess in here. And hopefully everything will tomorrow get put away. It's not tonight. I'm just tired. But anyway, let me show you what's going on. Got all my little guys put in here. I've got them raised considerably now up off the heat mat. And I'm just going to run the heat mat at night. And I may even open a window just a little bit to cool it down in here. It's too warm. But I've got two different plug-ins so that in the morning I can just turn on my lamp or turn on all my lights, and I can hit the other button and turn off the heat lamps or the heat mats, because we certainly don't need both going. I'm really pleased. If you saw the video from yesterday, you will see that there's a lot of green happening. Not in every one of them. Some of them just have a pop here and there. But there's signs of them in all of them. So I know that they're coming along for me. And it makes me really, really, really happy. You can see a little green back in there. But yeah, they're going to do well, y'all. I'm convinced. I will accept nothing less. So this was kind of a challenge. You can actually, I've told you this, you can actually purchase these things in what's called a plug tray. And they come to you ready to go ahead and go in the ground. It's expensive because these guys take about 16 weeks of care before they're big enough to go in the ground. So I did not want to spend that money. And besides, I enjoy growing the seedlings. And this particular group of seedlings was just a challenge. And I may not be successful. I'm going to give it my very best effort to be successful. And then, you know, I've watched every, well, not every, but I've watched probably about 10 different YouTube videos on growing Lizzy from seed. And the people that have done that have been, you know, fairly successful. People that grow really, you know, huge, that are huge farms. I'm closing things up. They tend to just buy the plugs. And I don't know if Chelsea and I will ever reach that point. If we do, we may choose to buy the plugs as well. But if I get this nailed down, I think that to me it's just so much fun watching these little green heads pop up. And they're so tiny. I've never seen a seedling this tiny. And apparently they stay really tiny for a very, very long time. It's just an interesting thing. This is a new experience because usually anything that we plant from seed, you know, especially things like zinnia that pop up in a heartbeat, they're, you know, an inch tall in a week and a half, 2 weeks, it seems like. And so it just doesn't take any time at all. As a matter of fact, most of the time, if we grow in soil blocks, I'm going to turn you around. I don't even know what my head looks like because, well, anyway, because I hate just pointing you at this bright light and, you know, just making you stare at it. But seeds like zinnia and just the more common seeds, especially when you're growing them in soil blocks. Soil blocks are so healthy to grow plants in, to grow seedlings in, because the root system, it's just, it doesn't get root bound. You know, that it's, you know, it's kind of cutting the roots off as they reach the edge of the block itself. Pruning, that's what it's called, self-pruning. The soil blocks are self-pruning. So it works really well for, and the nutrients that I start out with in the soil block itself, it just gives our little seedlings a really, really good start. And so they're ready to go in the ground within 4 to 6 weeks. And that's really fast. And when they go in the ground, they're 3 to 5 inches tall. So if that tells you anything about how quickly they grow, these little dudes take 16 weeks, and they're still small. When they go in the ground, they're still small. So my challenge. They are my challenge. And not a whole lot going on as far as growing things during the winter. And I like to grow things. It's not like there's not anything else going on here, but I like growing things too. Hugh's going to help me tomorrow. We're going to work on this peahen house and try to get it ready. We were going to go after the peahen this weekend, but it is supposed to be 17 degrees at night, and for Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, all 3 nights it's supposed to be down in the very, very cold area. And during the day, I think that one day is going to be like 38. I don't know. The other days are going to be in the 30s as well, I think. And so Chelsea and I got in touch with the person we're getting them from. And I told them, I said, you know, if you don't mind, I'd really kind of like to wait until that following weekend, the weekend after Christmas, because it is supposed to be back up in the high 30s at night, and then one day is even going to be like 65, 66 degrees. So I hate to stress her, not only with the move will stress her badly as it is, but then also, you know, the cold, because we won't be heating her enclosure. Her enclosure will heat up during the day because we'll have greenhouse plastic on the top. So it shouldn't get too, and I think that I'm going to, on her roosting post, I think I'm going to run the heat tape that you wrap pipes in, and put, you know, a piece of carpet over top of that. That's something that I've seen the suggestion for, and that makes sense, because if she's going to be in there by herself for a while, that will at least, you know, keep her, if her feet's warm, you know, to radiate on up her body, I'm certain. But I think that I've still got to talk to the gentleman we're going to be getting her from. Is an older gentleman, and he's raised peacocks for years. So I'm going to pick his brain and ask him, you know, what he thinks about me putting Ferdinand in with her, so she won't be alone. I know Ferdinand probably will not like being captured and put into an enclosure, because he's, you know, he roams, he's a free spirit. And so I'm not certain whether that would be a good thing or a bad thing. So, and there's so much information out there, just from every end of the spectrum. So I'm going to ask this little guy. He's got lots and lots of years of experience, and I'm just going to go with what he suggests. And she will be coming out by the end of February. So she'll have, you know, 2 months that she will be enclosed, so that the farm, the scent, the sounds, everything can imprint on her, and that will make her feel at home, and she will want to stay, and she'll be here. She won't decide to roam. But that's something that's very, very important with peafowl, is just giving them time to imprint, or for the location that they're at to imprint on them. I'm not sure which it is. But anyway, all right, y'all. I'm going to go make a cup of hot tea, see if my husband wants any, and go in there and aggravate him for a little while. And he's been helping John all day. They've been working on John's porch roof. So they're buddies. They help each other with whatever project one has. And it's good. It's good for them to work together and keep each other out of trouble. But I hope y'all are well. I love you much. And I will keep you up to date on how these little guys are doing. And I hope every time that I show you that they're just lovely and green and growing. But y'all take care, and I'll talk to you soon. Love you much. Bye-bye.